At the end of April 2023, the Dutch Model Car Club NAMAC held another diecast event, as they do every 2 months. Before we get to the stuff I bought at the event, let's take a look at what other people brought for me to the event. As usual, my buddy JK, whenever he attends the event, he brings some stuff for me. He doesn't have to, but that's just kind of a nice guy he is. He sent me a picture of this and asking, you for sure already have this, but I answered, nope, I don't have this. So he brought it for me. This is the 1973 Volvo 142 GL. He bought it at the autominiatuurwinkel.nl store. I recognize the sticker, the price sticker there, €10. So this is in the Autostrasse set. That's a really nice set, although that Lamborghini is not very fitting for the set, I think, the concept version. Otherwise, a bunch of nice vehicles. Let's crack this open, have a look at it, and then it's story time. Sorry for those of you who don't like story time. I know some of you do. So of course, metal on metal, new casting, huge wheels on it, slammed to the ground, gray interior, that's nice. See something different than the eternal black interiors. Bumper delete version. It has the S for Sweden on there, although the license plate is not in a typical Swedish format. It's in Hot Wheels format because it says the year 73, then HW for Hot Wheels, and then 142 for the model. It says Volvo there on the left above the S, and then on the right it might say Deluxe or something like that. I'm not sure. Can't read it. There's a badge on the side here too. Some striping. Looks to be an American version because it's got the red side light there. That was not on the European ones. Nice color. And made in Thailand, so this is an MBK casting. Matchbox Bangkok, made in the Matchbox factory, as most of these Hot Wheels premiums are. Now, this is a little, what do you call that? Little map, booklet, I don't know. You put car papers in, and this was from a vehicle that was bought new by my grandfather in 1971. Put you down a little bit. So it's got a bunch of paperwork in here, invoices from when it was new. This is the warranty and service booklet. But, so here it says delivery date the 31st of March of 1971 with some stamps in there for the services. Every 2,500 kilometers they had to bring it in for service. And what was that car? Well, you can see it here in the instruction booklet. It was a Volvo 144. So a 71 was quite different than the 73. I'll try to do a comparison like this because I don't have a diecast version of the 71. Well, I might have a Dinky Toys somewhere, but not close by here. So you can see the indicators on the 73 were next to the headlights, where on the 71 they were down there. Other than that, you know, a little bit different shape of the grille and stuff like that. And then the taillights were also very different. I'll see if I can find a picture of that. So this was the version that my grandfather had bought. It's the Deluxe with the B20 engine, the 2-liter petrol engine. So this was the base model with the chrome grille, and this was the Grand Luxe with the high beams, or what do you call that, added to it. So my grandfather handed the car down to my father, so I was very familiar with it when I was a kid. So this is the version, the Grand Luxe with the different grille. And let's see if we can see the tail lights in here so you can see the difference. So Volvo used to do that a lot, do a little change every year to a vehicle, and slightly updating it. So the 71 would have the door handles sitting on top of the door, whereas the 73 has them flush. And there's probably a few more differences. So here you got the side profile of the 71. 4-door. There's no picture of the 2-door in here, I think. Let's see. Must be a taillight in here somewhere. There it is. So this is what the taillights were like on the 71, whereas vertical, whereas on the 73 they were horizontal. I think that's the biggest difference in the model. I'll just continue going through this one. For those of you who like it, those of you who don't like it will have skipped ahead already. There's a lot of text here and some engine data, chassis, yeah, and that's it. So that's it for the story time. Then he also got me this track day diorama set with the Euro hauler, which is my favorite team transport Hot Wheels vehicle. The 1984 Audi Sport Quattro, Lamborghini Essenza SCV12, and the Sauber Mercedes C9. I will open this up in a video together with the other dioramas I still have boxed. I have 3 in total now, which is not a huge amount, but you know, these are expensive here in Europe if you can find them, so I'm not willing to spend that kind of money on these. But I'm glad JK did. Thank you for that, my friend. And at the event, he bought a Forza set, and with 5 cars in it, and he took the Japanese car in there and the Porsche, and he left the other ones for me. So this is the Morris Mini, quite an old casting, 2000 copyright. This is metal on metal, of course, with the real riders and full deco. Morris Cooper, it says on the back there next to the Great Britain country sticker. And of course a lot of Forza references. And this is the pop-off body version, so you have to kind of push down this little lip and then you can separate the base from the body. Unfortunately, there's no roll cage in here. The older ones used to have that, so they're yeah, definitely skimping on the budget here. You just hook in the grill in the front and then pull the lever down to get to attach it back again. Cool, very nice. The Lamborghini Gallardo LP 570-4 Superleggera. Got the Italian colors on there. And of course this Forza name. I would say all around, but that's not the case. It's not on the back, it's not on the roof, but you know. And the 2016 Ford GT Race. Plastic wing on the back. Diffuser as metal, part of the base, and it's got some paint chips already. Some made in Thailand. MBK. And then I ordered some stuff online from John Nijhuis, former Matchbox ambassador. And he also brought that to the event for me, so I don't have to pay for shipping. I got, well, basically a bunch of country exclusives and then some other stuff I like. This is a German exclusive. It was €4, which I was willing to pay because this hits, yeah, a few. I'm not sure how I knew how I was going to say it before I did the video, but now I forgot. It's a German exclusive. It's a wagon and it's a taxi. So 3 things I like. Mercedes-Benz E430T model. The one thing that would have made this even better was if it was in that off-white, almost beige or tan color that the German taxis are in. That would have just been perfect. This one has the side deco with the Euro taxi on there and the phone number, and then the red for the taillights. No silver for the headlights, it seems, but it does get the chrome grille, which is a separate piece, so that's awesome. I'm not going to open this up for now, you know, because it's a German exclusive. You can see some German on here, and on the bottom it just mentions the German, Swiss, and Austrian Mattel affiliates, whereas the other international ones have all the other affiliates on there. Might open it up in the wagons or taxi video, who knows, but for now it's going to stay carded. I ordered a loose version of this Ford Crown Victoria in gold. For €2, but I guess it was not available anymore, so he gave me the long card version at the same price, even though this would have been much more expensive than this loose version. This is a 2011 release, whereas the Mercedes was a 2000 release, the previous one. I'll open this up in the taxi video, obviously. Again, very nice of John to give me a carded one, even though I did not pay for a carded one. And look at this gem. So this is the Volkswagen Beetle Taxi. I was stunned he had one of these for sale on a long card for only €4. So Tyrone has sent me 2 of these. This is an earlier release, 2002 copyright, with different rims and a little bit of a different tempo. So this is 2003 release probably. This is a 2008 release. So I have now both versions of this Mexican taxi. You can see the more recent version has the taxi on the taxi sign on top, whereas the older one does not have. The older one has the green base, while the newer one has the gray base. So it makes for the bumpers too. And I think the wheels on the new one are nicer, but you know, I'm happy to have both of them. So these will get opened up in the taxi video also. Awesome. And then I also ordered a bunch of loose cars from him. So the top one is an American exclusive. It's the 1957 Ford Thunderbird. By the way, these did not originally come in these boxes, okay? Some people think they do, but they do not. He just puts them in here for to transport them safely. The bottom one is a Hummer. Let's see from what year that is. That is a 2002 release. It's just a regular basic, nothing special Hummer police casting. So let's take a look at these. So we got a plastic base, 1988 copyright. Let's get rid of this sticker. It's got the old style Matchbox wheels on there. It's got suspension. It's got a proper steering wheel. It's got details in the back and in the front, tempo wise. And it's an American exclusive. So that all of that made me decide this was worth paying a little bit more than I would usually do. It's got a lot of stuff going for it, so yeah, very pleased with it. And then we get at the Hummer. So there's kind of a divider in here that you have to pull out. Again, we got a sticker on there. Yeah, not going to bother with it. So this probably will also have suspension. No, does not have any more. I know the early ones did. So this opens up and there's some kind of a quad in there. So click. Got the blue window piece, but there's no light bar on top, so yeah. Doesn't really look like a police vehicle. Some more USA exclusives. These were a little bit more expensive, but they're also much more appealing to me. 2006 Jaguar XK8 convertible. 2006, I mean the release date by Matchbox. USA exclusive. And then the Chevy van was a 2011 release. Also USA exclusive. So kind of a British racing green-ish color. No suspension. Proper steering wheel. Kind of looks like a Jaguar steering wheel. Nice tan interior. Details tempoed on the back. Jaguar logo on the license plate. And then details on the front. Very nicely done. Yeah. And nice rims too. Very fitting for this model. So very pleased with it. Totally worth it. And then the van. Let's see if we can get this sticker off. Yes, we can. Sorry. Pro Atom custom boards and equipment. Not sure if that is an actual snowboard manufacturer. Is this radio dispatch that says here in the front? Not sure. So this one has a very cool interior. I've shown it in detail in previous videos. I'm a sucker for these Matchbox interiors. So there's kind of a sofa bed there with a guitar on there and some other stuff. A book probably. And then there's a little bit of there's a woofer or a speaker down there, and a little seat and a little kitchen area. That's cool. I love it. Great casting. And I prefer this regular version over the 4x4 version, by the way. And the rims are cool too, I think. Nice one. And then we got two police vehicles. So the top one is also a USA exclusive 2001 release of the Chevrolet Impala. And then the bottom one is nothing special really, but I just like the casting. 1996 release of the Opel Kadett or Vauxhall Opel Kadett GSI or Vauxhall Astra GTE with the roof light and the police livery. Interestingly, this one actually has the name of the vehicle on the box here. So this might have been in here originally. Or did he just cut off some cardboard? Well, yeah. He just kept that cardboard piece and put it in there. Nice. That's some nice displaying right there. Makes it looking pretty good on video, I guess. I think most of you kind of like that. So this still has suspension, even though it's a 2001 release. They were already fading out the suspension by then. Separate piece for the light bar. It's the V-shaped one, you know. This is licensed also. Westworth Village. So this is a real police livery, I guess. And we get 3 tempo sides. That's also a plus. Taillights are done. A little bit bland in the front without a tempo, but you know. And it's got a blue interior. How nice is that? Proper steering wheel. Love it. That is cool. And then we've got the Opel Kadett. Or a Vauxhall Astra for the British and possibly the Australian viewers. Of course, this one has suspension because this is the oldest one here. Kind of a generic police livery. White interior, right-hand drive, proper steering wheel, and blue window piece, just like it should be, has to be. I have like 4 of these. I do not have a version without the light bar of the Opel Kadett. They're all light bar versions I have. Yeah, this is my 4th example of this casting, all different liveries. Cool. And then he also got me replacements for the convoys, the Matchbox Ultra, Matchbox Collectibles, Ultra Premium convoys I showed earlier. And the Michelin one had some cracks in the paint, and the Roadway one had a paint chip. So he got me new examples for those. So you've already seen those in that previous video, and if not, check it out. Didn't get a lot of views, so still time for you to up that view count a little bit. Let's lift you guys a little bit up so we can see a little bit more of the background. Then we get to the stuff I actually bought at the event. Here's a Renault Master ambulance for the ambulance video. Did not have this example. I usually don't tend to buy plastic body releases, but you know, since this is a European vehicle, I kind of bit the bullet and said, okay, I will get this one. These are pretty hard to come by. And when you find them, they're usually more expensive too. So I thought, you know, for this kind of money, I should grab it. And have another example of this ambulance. I've said it before, they could have made it a metal body if they would have made the roof part all plastic part of the window piece. Add another window on the side. You know, there's already a window in the back, so that would have made it much less metal, and they would have been able to do a metal body. Maybe they thought it would not have been as rigid enough anymore. If they did that, I'm not sure, but you know, this is what it is. I'll open it up in the ambulance video. I found the remaining vehicle I was missing from this Hot Wheels off-road set, the 2015 Land Rover Defender Double Cab. So I got the Toyota Land Cruiser from Joe of XLT Off-Road Bear on YouTube. I found the Jeepster and the Mercedes-Benz Unimog 1300 and the Olds at Macro, which is now a defunct store. Did not take the Olds, I did want these two, so I now have these four. That's the only ones I wanted from the set. This is in flat black. That is better than the gloss black for sure. Muddy tires, mud splatters on the side. Brown interior, which also makes for the wheel arches in the front end. We get a tempo on the front, we get a tempo on the bonnet, and next to the bonnet, get tempo on the side and in the rear. So this is basically full deco. That is really nice. So to get that for this kind of money, yep, I call that a score for sure. I found this one, of course, thinking it was a Norev, but I was wrong. It's a Universal Hobbies. These tend to be a little bit more detailed than the Norev ones. He was asking €6. I put it back on the table and walked away, but he called me back and he said, "No, you can have it for €5. Cool. So this is the Renault Scenic RX-4 in a French police livery. The police liveries tend to be a little bit more expensive, and the roadside assistance ones even more expensive than the regular releases, which kind of makes sense. So it says Scenic RX-4 there. It's kind of hard to read in black. Universal Hobbies, Renault Toys. It says the top speed there. So plastic base. Got a trailer hitch, which is weird because, I'm sure Universal Hobbies, Norev had 1/64 scale trailers. Lens headlights, separate piece for the light bar with lots of different colors on there. So that shows you that it's much more detailed than the Norev. It has police written in reverse, so if you see it in your rearview mirror when you're driving in front of it, you can read it. Authentic rims, very chromy, and suspension. You can see the suspensions bars in there. Got a little rucksack on the back for the spare wheel, and police on the cover of it. An opening lift gate or hatch. Yeah, very cool. Glad I found this. This is in a 4x4 minivan, for those of you who don't know this model. And then I found a few Norev Volkswagen releases for very cheap. Usually I pay €5 for these. Never found them this cheap. And this is a model I did not have yet. This is the Volkswagen Golf Mark 7, I believe. I'm struggling to get this out of here. Doesn't actually say on the base what model it is. Let's see, I'm checking my notes here. If it is indeed the 7, why can't I find it? Okay, Golf Mark 6, sorry, Mark 6, 2008 till 2013. This Golf model was used. So plastic base, see the suspension bars again. So it's got suspension, got authentic rims, but plastic tires, just like the Scenic. Lens headlights and nicely painted details. Some black around the windows. And then again, nicely detailed in the back too. Awesome. Great find. And another Volkswagen Norev from the same seller. It's a Tiguan. I already have an example of the Tiguan, but because it was so cheap, I didn't even mind that it is black. No, sometimes if they're this cheap, you just gotta grab them. Much more suspension travel on this, especially in the front. The front suspension is often broken or dead on these. I think motor ones are sitting like this because the suspension has failed. So not only do we get the lensed headlights, but we also get a separate piece for the grille. Very chromy. Panoramic roof. Authentic rims, of course, plastic tires. 2-liter TDI diesel badging on the back. And I also got this Corgi Porsche Targa. Now, I overpaid for this. I know, I paid €5 for this. Why is it not worth that? Because it's made in China, not in Great Britain. It's a 1990 copyright. Also has the orange has faded here on top, UV damage. But I really wanted it. I have never encountered this Rijkspolitie version, which is the Dutch police. So the Belgian and the Dutch police used these Targa Porsches on the highways for pursuits and for you know, all kinds of traffic related stuff. And I actually have the Belgian one, although it was never sold like this. This is a custom by David Johns of Twice Diecast, and this is the exact same Corgi casting that was also used by Hot Wheels. So he took a Hot Wheels version and he customized it. So he cut off the spoiler in the back, and he added all these wonderful decals that are correct to the actual vehicle this is based on. You can see it in the background there, dial 911, with a picture of it. There's a YouTube video on that vehicle if you want to know more about it. It's got the license plate and everything, SOS 901. Yeah, good stuff. So I'm very pleased. I have now both countries' version of the Porsche 911 Targa. That is awesome. Of course, the one that David did has a light on top of the roll bar there that the original does not have. So I'm going to keep this carded just to keep it in the box next to this one, so they can be together like that. Then we get to some Majorettes I got. This is the Mercedes 300 TE. It is not mint, unfortunately. It's just going to be a placekeeper, but I really wanted to get this. It was only €1. And it's in the Mercedes-Benz service livery, so a roadside assistance vehicle. It has lost most of its chrome on the rims and some paint loss, some scratches. It's got the lens headlights, a separate piece for the chrome grille that is, well, actually part of the dashboard, and the steering wheel that's also chrome, but the rest of the interior is black. It's got the lift gate that opens up, and it's got some suitcases in the back. Metal on metal, of course. Suspension. So I'm hoping to find a minty version of this, but yeah, still had to grab it for the station wagon and roadside assistance vehicles collection. And I also got a carded Majorette from the 600 series. This is a fire engine from the fire department of New York. Seller was asking 8 and got him down to, sorry, I was asking 10, I got him down to 8. Packaging is ripped, and you know, plastic is broken, all kinds of stuff, so I'm not going to feel bad opening this up. Here's the other vehicles in the set. I have a version of this car transporter, but different color combo, and that's the one we're going to look at here. So let's see if we can slide this out somehow. Yep, there you go. There's no date on these older Majorette packagings. No need for to look for a date on these. So basically still sealed, or maybe not. No, it's open in the bottom. It has been pre-opened clearly, so that makes it easier for me to show it to you. So let's turn it or flip it around. Majorette, made in France, it says on the trailer. 1/87 scale. And then the rig has a reverse base. Made in France, Majorette, 1/87 scale. So I'm not sure what the brand this is. Is this a Mac, a Freightliner, Kenworth? I forget. Seems to be some dust on the roof there, so I'm going to have to clean that. A little bit of discoloring of the ladder too, I think. So the rig is mostly metal except for this black inner part. This is a plastic base, but the red you see is metal. And this is also plastic, the gray part and the white part. It's functional. It extends in different ways. I think you can slide this one out too. Yeah, you can, like that. See? So it goes all the way up. And of course it swivels. So a lot of functionality here. And disconnecting is by pulling it backwards, I think. Hope I don't break it like I often do. So maybe I should just leave it on there, because usually there's a little lip in there to keep it in there, and they come brittle over time, and I tend to break those off. So let's not do that this time. Same on this side. It's actually a sticker, the fire department. No taillights or anything, but you know, get some taillight details on the rig. Cool. Nice one. Then, let's see. Well, let's get to these Ferraris first. So this German seller had loose cars in these kind of baskets, or you know, those Matchbox things that you keep cars in. And he also had a bunch of Grell, which is East German diecast. There seems to be a kind of a theme in these NAMAC episodes. Last time I got a bunch of Matchbox. This time I've got Grell from 3 different sellers. whereas usually you don't find any Grell, but this time 3 different sellers had them. And then the next NAMAC episode, I found Tomica from 3 different sellers, which is also a rarity to find on NAMAC. So yeah, strange but true theme episodes. So this German seller had these loose. This is a Ferrari 308 GTB Quattro Valvole by Kyosho. So Kyosho means plastic base, rubber tires with authentic rims, and usually lensed details. They are both black, which means they have paint rash and all that typical stuff that these Kyosho tend to have if they are an enamel version. More so on black ones than on other enamel colors for sure. But only €4, so you know, I could not leave those behind. It's got lens lights for the fog lights. The indicators are tempoed. Very nice grill piece there. Tiny logo with the Il Cavallino Rampante on there, the prancing horse. No Scuderia badge on the side here. They probably did not do that back then. And then we've got the lens taillights. They're all red, there's no color difference in there, so not that detailed. Do get some silver exhaust for our name on the engine cover. And the model name there next to the right taillight. This one has plastic mirrors, which they probably were on the, well, they always are on vehicles mostly, well, the newer ones, but I mean, they look realistic, and they were kind of an unpainted black plastic back then, I mean, so yeah, definitely looks realistic. Very nice rims too, by the way. I love these. Got the open holes between the spokes, just as it should be. Yeah, definitely a steal. And then we got this one, the Ferrari F355 GTS. White rims on this. It contrasts nicely with the black for sure, but I would have preferred the silver ones. This one does have the Scuderia logo on the side. Also €4. Also has the paint rash. Also has the lensed light there for the, I believe those were indicators combined with some kind of daytime running lights without being daytime running lights. This one has a kind of a crooked mirror on the left side that is much more inward than the right one. Again, for that kind of money, I'm not going to bother. Pininfarina badge there. And yeah, good looking exhaust detail in silver. 4 lens taillights again. Prancing horse in the middle. And then the model name on the right side there. And Ferrari on the engine cover again. Of course, nicely detailed interior also, as you would expect from a premium brand like Kyosho. Then we get to the Grell cars I found. I had to stack them like this because this is very flimsy cardboard. I know it doesn't make for a very appealing look on a thumbnail or for this background, but you know, it is what it is. There's 4 different series that I have here. Not complete, obviously, examples of those. We start with the Braustolz Traumautos der DDR. So Braustolz is a German beer brewery, and most of these were issued by breweries. dream cars of the former Democratic Republic of Germany. This is number 5 of 2005. So this set kind of had a continuous numbering up until 2008, just continuing with the numbers, where other sets just had a numbering for each year. Number 5 of 2005 is the Wartburg 313-1 Sport Coupe. Although this is the Melkus. Yeah, this is the Wartburg Melkus, clearly. So let's open these up. Have a look. This is the cheapest I have ever found them. He had a bunch of them, this German seller. So I basically bought all of them. So these have plastic bases. They do not mention the model on the base. That is unfortunate because, you know, I'm not that familiar with these. Most of these were not sold in the rest of Europe, at least not where I lived, but we're going to see one that I know from my childhood. They have rubber tires. That's nice. I assume they have authentic looking rims. So we got paint for the taillights and paint for the headlights with a little bit of, you know, trim painted there. Cast-in mirrors. And we got some fog lights details there. So all in all, not bad, and definitely not for the money, you know. This is about the same price as a Hot Wheels mainline here in Europe. It's kind of funny to think that these communists would have a sports car in their lineup. That is funny. So I'm going to put these on the parking lot. These I've measured one before, and it was like 165 scale, so very close to 164. So I'm assuming these are pretty scale accurate. So number 6 of 2005 is the one I mentioned before, the Wartburg 313-1 Sport Coupe. That you can see here depicted in black and white. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff on there. So they have a pretty thick metal. As you can see here, how thick this metal is. They have a nice weight to them, even though they have the plastic base. Chrome bumper pieces that are separate. That is nice. Tempo details, front and rear. Doesn't need more than that. And, you know, proper steering wheel and a nice looking interior, although these interiors are basic. Only one side view mirror as they were back then. You've got some gills here, making it look sporty or just getting the heat out. Yeah, so cool. I love these. Next up, number 12. This is 2006. Let's see, the Sachsenring P230. Though this is a different color scheme, you can see here. And let me get something different there. So this was Series 2. A little bit of a paint defect on this one. It's the first time I see a paint defect on one of these. Usually they're pretty good. Again, we've got the chrome bumpers and the tempo, front and rear, two-tone. Awesome. A lot of green, as you can see. Kind of fits their company colors, I guess. Next up, we got number 13, also 2006. So this is the IFA F8. You can see kind of a drawing of the vehicle there too. Probably already noticed that. The Combi. kind of a little delivery van. So there's a lot more plastic on this one. This backside kind of mimics a wooden panel. And then these fenders are also plastic, separate plastic piece because the interior is black, so it's not part of the interior. Got a lot of chrome in the front, also a separate piece here for the grille, the headlights and the bumper. So yeah, looking very plasticky, but it still has a nice weight to it. But yeah, definitely one of my least favorites. Now the next one is from a different seller, but I put it in there because it kind of follows the series 3, number 17. This seller usually has a bunch of caravans or camper trailers, usually combined with a vehicle. Sorry, just going to drink a little bit. You have a nice holiday scene there. And this is the Wartburg 353 Tourist mit Intercamp. Dreifrumsdrei, I should say in German, of course, but you know. This was already open. I don't care. It was only €5 for this set, so good stuff. An all plastic camper. And then this vehicle is probably the only one of this whole set that I knew of when I was a kid. We had some of these driving around in Western Europe. This was, I wouldn't say it was a common sight, but I definitely remember even driving one of these driving in the street where I lived, which was a quiet street that you only drove through if you had to be there. It was not a street where you would drive through to get to somewhere else, because it was just you would only drive through if you were visiting someone that lived in the street. So again, we got the separate chrome bumpers. We got the tempo in the front and rear. Of course, it's a station wagon, so it's actually my favorite of this bunch here. Even though there's some more station wagons in there, but I like this more because I recognize it from when I was a kid. It's got the cover in the back that's closed up. Yeah, definitely awesome. And then here we got the camper again with a sticker on there. Are these rubber too? Oh yes, tiny rubber tires on the camper trailer too. The lights are done with the reflectors and the lights for the license plate. Some very fake wood paneling on the side. No interior. This is all fixed too. And it has a pin that hooks into a hole here in the back, so it's not your typical hitch assembly, but it works, as you can see. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Continuing with number 22, that is Series 4, 2008 release. Look at this funny little thing. Kind of a typical farmer's vehicle, it seems. Although I'm not sure if they are farming there. Looks to be something road work-ish. Yeah, that's more like it. So this is the Multicar Einsitzer Schüttgut. I had to look that up, what that meant. So this translates to the multicar one-seater bulk cargo. Interestingly. There's a few other ones I still need to find. No. Yep, a whole bunch of these vans and trucks I don't have. So yeah, I hope I will find these in the future. So this is from that German seller again, same price. This one got big wheels on it, a little bit of a flat spot on this rubber tire. Just the cabin is metal, silver for the headlights, black for the grille. A little bit of dirt there. Plastic pickup bed. And I guess the engine is next to the driver, so that's why it can be so much of a cab forward design. So yeah, very interesting, very cool looking. I like it a lot. And it rolls very well, as you can see. Then we get to the next set. So this is another brewery, the Sternquelle. Jugendtraume, made in DDR. So children's dreams, or kids' dreams. 2005, release number 4. This is also a Sachsenring. So let's turn my page here so you can follow up. This is also a pt.2, so just like we saw earlier, but this is the convertible version. Some other models in the back here. I've already showed you this in a previous video. And this one too, I think. Not sure. So a 4-door convertible with white wall tires, wing mirrors, that is cool to see. Again, the separate chrome bumpers, little canvas stop that is added on there, separate piece in plastic. 2-tone interior, brown seats and door cards, and a black steering wheel with the dashboard. Some red paint for the taillights. A bit of dirt on the back, but that wipes off. And 2-tone body. Very nice one. I like that. Number 5 of 2005. The IFA F8 Luxus Cabriolet. Says it here again underneath it. So again, like we had on this one, I think it's basically the same model, but well, starting from the window, it starts to differ. By the way, the other Sachsenring I was talking about was this one. So you can see this is just a convertible version of the coupe, but it does get those mirrors. That's a nice touch. And this one has the mirrors. There's one mirror here, and this one has 2 mirrors on the wings. Interestingly. So I put these together, like this, and we get the convertibles next one another too. So we get 2-tone from paint here on the top of the hood or bonnet, and from colored plastic here on the fenders. Separate piece, just like the chrome piece in the front, and the canvas top is also a separate piece. No tampos in the back on these little tail lights sticking out. But you get the 2-tone paint. And an okay looking dashboard with a steering wheel. Convertibles next to one another. Now this is a pretty cool one too. Although the original one, if you see on the picture, is the station wagon. And they have a station wagon casting, but they did not use it for this tent version. That is interesting. So this is called the Trabant mit Zeltaufbau, which means Trabant with tent construction. 2006 release. It's number 1 of 2006. That does not have the numbering on this anymore. Basically, this Sternkveilstedt, I have the 2005 and 2006 releases complete. At least as far as I know. So the Trabi has some holes in the roof to attach the tent onto. Also has a pretty good looking trailer hitch, and it looks different than the one from the Wartburg. Tail lights done, grille and headlights done, just like all of these, and the chrome bumpers. Black interior. And here we got the tent piece, all plastic. It's got some kind of a grill thing that would, I don't know if that would be the case on the real one, but you would put a mattress in there, obviously. And it's got the ladder that sits on the trailer hitch. Very kind of a high roof, small narrow tent. Much different than what we see nowadays on roof tents. Does that click in here, or what does that do? I'm not sure if it clicks. It seems to click. Yeah, it's going to click. Might not click it in there because it would be difficult to store it. But it's got little knobs to rest on the roof, so it's very nicely made, for sure. Oh yeah, so I did click it on there. I think it will pull out easily. It just will be easier to show you. And it fits nicely on the trailer hitch. Look at that. It's a very nice, snug fit. So these models are really well made, I have to say. Isn't that cool? That's awesome. So with the camping stuff, I'll put it on the proper spot when we have some more room after we have finished this pile. The IFA F8 Schnelllieferwagen, so the fast delivery vehicle. In two-tone also. See here, even the picture they used the station wagon version, number 1 of 2006, with the tent. It's strange they used the regular version. And the actual vehicle, the actual release, I mean. So this is a all metal body. That's nice. Tiny little taillights detailed there. 2 exhausts. Wow, sporty. Chrome bumpers. Tampos front. And we got these little boxes stacked in the back that are fixated. And it's an all metal bed, by the way, with a little window, but you can't see through it because the boxes are in the way. Yeah, this is from the utility vehicles. This is my favorite so far because of the use of the metal. A lot more metal than on the other utility vehicles. And the box in the back, because this one had a lot more plastic on it and no cargo. And that also had a lot of plastic. So yeah, definitely pleased with this one as a utility vehicle. Then this is number... So the previous one, this was number 2. And this one is number 3 of 2006. The Sachsenring P240 Combi. So we already have 3 versions of the Sachsenring P240. We got the sedan, convertible, and now we've got the station wagon. Awesome. Two-tone again, just like the convertible, whereas the sedan had just a different body and top. And this also has the wing mirrors, like the convertible. So it looks like the convertible was kind of more based on the wagon than it was on the sedan. So we're going to have to put this one here, and then we put this one on the spot later on. And this is number 4 of 2006 in this set. The Framo V901-2 Combi. Also with an all-metal body, so no plastic on this one either. So we got some silver wrapping around the front end here. That's nice. Does have plastic fenders here in the front, so do get some plastic here. Again, a little bit disappointing. It's got a back seat, so that's why there's a window here, and then this is all cargo space in the back. No tempo here, but you know, it's kind of a red-ish vehicle, so would not be very visible. The taillights still would have been nice, but we got some side deco on this front end. Yeah, not bad, but could have been better. Then from a different seller, this is kind of a follow-up of the previous two. You could say this is kind of series 3, but there's a little bit difference. It's also a Sternquelle, but it says Jugendtrauma in der DDR. So it says made in DDR previously, and now it says in der DDR. So that's kind of different, and of course a different shape of the packaging is kind of round or oval, where it was more square or rectangular before. So a different seller, he was asking 7 for it, which I did not want to pay. He eventually came down to 5 when I showed him I got all of these for 3. So he was willing to let it go for 5. Seeing that I was definitely someone that collected these, and I guess he wanted it to go to someone that collects these. Wow, we're already over 1 hour in. Jeez. I did not realize that. So going to finish these off, and then going to have to do a separate video for the rest of the stuff. This is a Moskvich 423 Combi. You can see it here too. You can freeze the frame if you want to read that. Some interesting facts on there. Well, if you can read a little bit of German. Number 5, 2007. So basically the last one of this 2007 set. I have this one. This one I found loose, but I don't have any of the other ones, so I'm still after those. So funny shaped station wagon, a bit like this one. This also is kind of funny shaped. More look like sedans that they put on an extra part in the back to make it a wagon. This one gets a separate piece for the grille. That is nice. Some little extra there. A little hood ornament. No mirrors though. And two-tone. And then this one was from the same German seller that got them all for €3. This is a different set. DDR PKW modellen. So PKW stands for Personenkraftwagen. So kind of a people carrier vehicles. Just basically just regular street cars. That's what it means. This is a, I think it's a Wartburg also. Let's check. Yeah, Wartburg 311 Camping. Limited collector series number 1, 1600 pieces. True to detail, painted like the original, it says here in German. Here's the other vehicles in the set. So this is number 1 we have here. And then there's basically the same castings as they already did before, but probably with different colors. So I don't know how long this series has continued. It has less detail than the previous ones. Does not have the chrome anymore, unfortunately. So it just has the gray plastic for the rims, for the bumpers, and you know, less appealing, definitely. Even the tampos look a little bit less appealing, at least in the front. The side looks okay. There's nothing in the rear. I do like this kind of alpine window style rear glass section. That is awesome. So yeah, that almost seemed like these wheels turned, but that's not the case. Just a little bit wobbly, I guess. Let's shift some stuff around here. I want to have these together, if possible, like that. Station wagons together, and then there's the utility ones together. And there's one spot left here. Well, there's actually 2 for these. Let's put that right there, like that, so they all fit on there. I'll do a second video for the rest of the stuff that I got from Tom's Model Autos. See you then. Bye.